Hi, welcome to another episode. Today, I want to talk about deconstructing limiting beliefs. But first, this is going to be the last video that I will do with this background right here. This is my apartment currently, but more than likely I'm going to be moving tomorrow. And I say more than likely just because something could go wrong or something might go wrong. But anyway, I don't want to speak that into existence as much as I can. But I want to say I'm 99.9% sure that I'm going to be moving tomorrow. So you guys will see a different background. I think I'm going to start going back to more outdoor videos just because I think that the blue skies, the trees, the grass, I just think it brings more light and positivity to these videos. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of those soon. I know I haven't done a whole lot of them in a long time. So I this year I think we're going to go back to more of that. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about limiting beliefs. So, contrary to either popular or unpopular opinion, depending on who you are and how you look at it, deconstructing limiting beliefs can and will take a long time for you to really peel back the layers of the onion into who you are and why you have these limiting beliefs, why you suffer from depression, anxiety. It just takes a little while, and it's a very uncomfortable, very painful journey, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. That's why a lot of people, when they start, they don't finish, just because it's to go back to whatever time that was, whether it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or back when you were a child, going back and exploring these less than favorable memories, going back to the trauma, going back to what you grew up with. If you happen to be somebody who grew up with parents that had very limited beliefs and had a lot of blocks, chances are you're probably going to suffer through those exact same blocks and limiting beliefs through no fault of your own, through no fault of your parents. That's just how generational, I don't want to call them curses, let's just say generational patterns. It's just how those things work, right? It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you or your parents or your parents' parents, your parents' grandparents, because I mean this goes back and it goes back and it goes back. And the thing that you have to realize is about generational patterns is that it always starts somewhere where people had very limited resources, very limited, very boxed in ways of looking at the world, because there was only so much information that you could get your hands on at the time. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, we didn't have the internet. And like even when I look at my generation, the millennials are probably the last generation to have a very limited belief structure. I'm not saying that generations after us don't have this, but millennials for sure have been brought up on a certain amount of conditioning, and you have to do this. You have to abide by these societal rules in order to be accepted by society, in order to be recognized as a full-fledged adult. You have to grow up. You have to move out of your parents' house. You have to go to college. You have to go and get a degree. You have to even sometimes go to graduate school. And depending on what your culture was when you were growing up, you were expected to go to law school or medical school. Otherwise, you were just looked down on as a failure. Because my generation came up during a transitional period from the analog world to the digital world. We are probably the first generation in about 100 years that has seen the world change as rapidly as it has, just within the last 30 or 40 years. I mean, it's crazy the amount of changes that I've seen throughout my life these last 30 years when it comes to the transition from analog to digital. But having said that, we didn't really have a lot of access to information. We just had our parents, our teachers. Most of the information that we got was from reading books or from, going to school or watching the news on TV. I mean, that was just how we were able to get our information. And that's why, I don't want to go down, another rabbit hole, but the next generations definitely have more of an advantage. I mean, they already are very smart. They're very capable. They know most of the answers that you probably have questions for, and it's because of the age of the internet and social media. So they have a lot more access into how to really dig deep into who you are on a soul level, and certain things that you can do, like meditating, exercising, working out, certain techniques that you can do to really become who you were meant to be. Now, the reason why I bring up, I'm not one to talk about generations and like generation labels, because to be honest, I think that that's all bullshit. But there are a lot of people in my generation that are very behind the eight ball and are very limited in their thinking and in how they perceive emotions. Just as generations before us, Gen X, baby boomers, silent generation, because it's not really our fault, but we just didn't have the access to information that we do now. And so my whole point of bringing that up is you just don't know what you didn't know, or you just didn't know what you didn't know, was what I meant to say. So going back to limited beliefs and how you can deconstruct, the only thing that I can really tell you is that you have to be patient with yourself, because I know for me personally, trying to deconstruct 30 years of programming is not an easy thing. In fact, it can take a really long time to do that. So be very patient and gentle with yourself in the process. It doesn't matter what limited beliefs you might have currently, because those are just beliefs. They come and go, and you know, it doesn't really even matter what other people tell you you are, or you know, what you need to, you know, people that give you unsolicited advice, or you know, people that are mean to you, people that are rude, or people that, you know, it doesn't, that's neither here nor there, because the only person that will ever truly know who you are inside and out is you. So don't pay attention to the external pressure that is being placed on you by people outside of you. Just focus on yourself, focus on your own spiritual journey, focus on your own balancing, and I promise you, it's all going to come to fruition. It's all going to unravel in the time that it's meant to unravel. You can't force growth. You can't force healing. You can't force wisdom. It has to be a natural shift. So just give yourself that space. Give yourself that compassion, that understanding, because if you suffer from a lot of trauma and hurt, and it goes back years, if not decades, it can take you a little while to finally balance yourself out. It just takes time. And I mean, that's all I can really say from here. If you have any questions about it, or if you have, or if you find that you're on this journey, or maybe you don't even know that you're on this journey yet, feel free to leave a comment below, send me a direct message. I'm going to be starting up sessions pretty soon, not just with personal training, but also with manifestation and interconnectedness. In a way, it'll basically be like therapy, but without the emphasis on the mind and how the mind works. We're just focusing more on your soul and how your soul works, and not looking at and not trying to figure everything out necessarily through the lens of your ego. This is more about who you are on the spiritual level. But fitness is a huge part of that too, because your physical body and your spiritual body, and I'm going to go ahead and end it with this, your physical body and your spiritual body are both connected. They are not separate from each other. They are one entity. So it is your responsibility, as you are going through this spiritual process, to take care of your body, eat better, eat healthier foods. You know, maybe have one cheat meal a month, or two cheat meals a month, or maybe every other month. As long as it's in moderation. But take care of your body. Make sure that you're exercising. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. And that's what I'm here for. If you have questions about how to do that, or how to balance, or how to get more in tune with who you are spiritually, please let me know. And I'm happy to help, and I'm always here to help. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it brought value, and if it did, share it with your friends and your family. But like always, I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I love you, and I will talk to you again soon.